So let's start. Yeah, so we are talking today about how to power Copilot Studio agents with Azure AI Foundry. Okay. So we will see some techniques of how we can extend functionality in Copilot Studio using Azure Service. Okay. Not only Azure AI Foundry, also we will use another site service to power Copilot Studio. And then on the end, I will give you some ideas on how to improve. I am improving also this agent with the new Copilot Studio functionality that just come out on the last weeks after the build. So we have so much new, so much new new features in Copilot Studio. I will take a look of it with you on the end of the session and give you some ideas on how to improve this demo. I am David Lorenzo. I work as a Power Platform lead in Prodware in Spain. I live in Canary Island. Related to Canary Island. So we will see how to create Hotel Reservation Assistant in Copilot Studio, extend it with some functionalities, and then I will show you some of the best hotels also during the demo, so you can try to someday in your life come here, which it will deserve you. I am Microsoft MVP in Power Apps category, and these are my social networks. I am more active in LinkedIn. Okay, so you can connect with me there. I am always happy to talk to you, answer your questions, collaborate in different events that you might have, and also open to help you in whatever you need. I have also community here in Spain with some colleagues. His name is Warandinga Tech. We give content in Spanish. That's the only caveat, but of course you can subscribe. Today, YouTube have also translation, automatic translation, so you can maybe find something useful. And of course, you are invited to come to Spain, and we organize in-person events, meetups. You are, of course, invited to subscribe to our meetup page, and we can find some ways to collaborate. Okay, let's go ahead. Thank you to sponsors. Of course, without the companies that help the community, that support the community, this wouldn't be possible. Thanks also to the organization of the event. And of course, we can give all the support to these sponsors in order to they continue to support the community. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of theory, not so much, only 10 minutes, we go to the demo. Okay, so we want to build a hotel reservation assistant. Okay, in this speak, so we need to decide which solution we have to use, which product, which Microsoft product we should use in this case. So as you can see in the screen, we have a lot of products here in the Microsoft environment. Starting from left to right, we have Azure AI Studio, Azure AI Foundry is the last name now, where we can build our custom solutions. Okay, this is the more flexible solution, the more flexible product, the one we can use to build our solution with more work. We have to do more work, but of course we have a lot of more flexibility to build the solution. So we can connect external service, we can make pro code developments, we can make Azure functions, we can connect every component we want. On the next step, we have Copilot Studio, which is the one we will use today. That solution is getting bigger and bigger, getting new features every week. almost every week, almost every month. We are all the time getting updates from Microsoft. They are pushing a lot of work, a lot of money there in the product teams to get more and more functionalities. I will show you later on all the interface, all the things we can do in Copilot Studio, and that's the one we will use today. Of course, we put the mark there, and then of course, in the session before, we see a lot of features from Microsoft 365 Copilot that give us a lot of power in our Microsoft 365 environment by allowing us to query our different application, the planner, the loop, the teams, data. It's all connected by the Microsoft API Graph and Graph API, and of course, we can use it as our personal agent. We can extend also creating new agents with Copilot Studio that we can integrate later on in Microsoft 365 Copilot. And then on the right hand side, we have more specialized Copilot for sales, for service, and for finance, which are out of the box Microsoft built product in order to install as add-ons on our Microsoft 365 application and improve our performance in doing sales, in doing field service, or in doing finance operations. Okay, so we have in the bottom part, we have to decide, of course, which one we use. Copilot Studio, we have a tenant capacity package where we can build like box of messages, okay, blocks of messages. 25,000 messages is more or less 200 euros a month, and then we can use that assigned to that tenant, and then assign different capacity to every environment, and then we can start building agents and using agents in that environment, and it will take a message from that capacity. Of course, we can renew every month, or when we get out of capacity, we can auto-renew the messages, okay? Also, we can go, we can link an Azure subscription, and we can go a pay-as-you-go mode, where we pay as much as we use the different agents. Okay, so we have different licensing options. In case you are any doubt with licensing options, you can ask to me here in the chat. In LinkedIn, I am happy to answer your questions about licensing. Also, we won't go in this session. We won't go too much deeper in the licensing side, but of course I can assist you in that matter. Which type of agents we can build? So we can classify them in three main categories. From left to right, we have retrieval agents. We can allow us to retrieve information from different data sources. I will show you later on how much out of the box data sources we have in Copilot Studio. In the last month, we have received like 400% more data sources. So we had in the beginning of the year, we have like 2, 3, 4 data sources, and now we have like 20 or 15 data sources. So it's a very, very extended platform. We can connect with a few clicks with ServiceNow, Fabric, SQL Server, Dataverse, Salesforce, a lot of platforms, and we can make integrations with a few clicks. You will see later on. We have the task agents, which are actions, takes action when we request to take that action. So they are idle, and then we give them an order. We give them like insert a new contact, make a new order, send an email, and then they have the action. So that they can do a task when we give in the order. Okay. So we have retrieval tasks, and the most advanced agents are the autonomous one. They operate independently, dynamically plans, organize all the agents, learns, and scales. We will see in the last part of the session that is that were not part of the session at my initial idea, but of course I will see how the different updates that Microsoft did in Copilot Studio last week and last 2 weeks after the build. So I want to show you a little bit of the new features that Copilot Studio have. So let's go ahead on the theory, and I want to show you that in the end of the session. Just the last slide before starting with show you code, show you the demo. This is the Copilot Studio architecture. Okay, so we have a lot of components that makes this bigger system operates under the hood, but we don't see any of this. We only see a beautiful interface where we can just configure things, write different prompts, write different description of the different tools, and all this is magic behind the hoods. So starting from the center of the screen, we can see this dash line, which corresponds to a solution, Dataverse solution. Dataverse solution is like a box with a lot of components inside. All these components is what compose an Copilot Studio agent. And then we can see like entities. Entities are words that are inside the prompts, inside the question, inside the phrase we put on the chat, like cities, I don't know, names of persons, just localizer codes, phone numbers, whatever you need, address. Okay, so all that compose entities, and they help us to identify the different part of the phrase and just passing the right parameters to the different tools. Okay, we have some predefined entities, and we can build custom entities using regular expressions and more techniques. Then we have the topics. We will see some topics later on, which will help us to guide the user for a conversation flow. They shouldn't be used too much. They shouldn't be so long, but they can help us to just ask some different question in a specific order to the user in order to get a final goal. We will see later on in the creating a new reservation. Okay. And then we can connect tools like Cloud Flows. Now we have more tools like prompts, custom connectors. We can connect also direct to Dataverse and a lot of new tools that are there to just connect to the agent and describe then the input, the outputs, the use that the agent should do of each tool. And then the generative AI orchestrator, which is here using Azure OpenAI, will choose for each question that we type in the chat, we'll choose different tools that will make and answer our question. Okay. And then on the right hand side, we have, of course, AI Builder. We can use more than 1,000 pre-built data connectors that we have in the Power Platform. We have data loss prevention policy. That's very important because it will allow us to avoid the data loss in our company. We can block different connectors like the social network connector. So every developer that makes an agent cannot expose data from the company to the social networks and so on. That's very important to be configured before we let the developers in our company to build agents. Then we have also connection with Azure Bot Service. That's the old part, is the behind engine that powers all the Copilot Studio. And of course, in the past, before the generative AI explosion, we have also developed some bot service applications, so we can reuse that as a skill, bot framework skill, and we can connect to a Copilot Studio agent in order to just take that all developments and reuse them in the new agents. Okay, we have Microsoft Enter ID in order to do the authorization and authentication part. And in the bottom, we have Dataverse, which will allow us to make the ALM, application lifecycle management of our application. We can move the solution with the agent from one environment to another. And then we can use role-based access control that allow us to give different permission, different roles to the different users that can use or modify our agent. And finally, we can, of course, all the activity data, all the telemetry will get saved into Dataverse, so we can expose to a Power BI dashboard, Power BI report to analyze what use our users are doing in our agents, and then we can improve the different conversation, the different flows, the different tools to improve the general performance of our agent. And finally, we have the channels. Okay, we can just build the agent and then with a few clicks publish to Slack, to Teams, to Facebook Messenger. WhatsApp will come soon. Also, we have X and so on. So we have also all the flexibility to just with a few clicks publish our agent to different channels. And if our desired channel is not there, we can use direct line API to just connect to the agent using JavaScript, using .NET, using, I don't know, whatever programming language that you might use. So you can integrate with whatever platform that allow an API or server-to-server integration. We will use that direct line API to provide one of the features that is missing in Copilot Studio yet. With the last update is not there. So I'm happy in a part because my demo will allow us to talk with the voice to Copilot. So we are doing like speech to text and text to speech using Azure Services in order to talk with the voice and hear the response in speakers, the Copilot Studio response. We will allow us to hear with the speakers doing a text-to-speech conversion. Okay, so that will be a part of the demo. So let's start with the first agent. So before that, I want to show you the general architecture diagram. Okay, this is an overview diagram of all the functionalities that has our Copilot. So we are going to allow the customer or the user to make a hotel reservation. We have like hotel PMS, the property management system of a hotel, where we can load all the rates, we can load all the hotel photos, all the reservation goes there. When you come to the hotel, you make a check-in, all the men behind the bar is doing the check-in inside the PMS. So it's a property management system of the hotel. So we have developed a small property management system in Dataverse with a few tables, and then we are creating an agent so we can make a hotel reservation. Another tools that we have implemented is some knowledge sources about which contains information about the different destination. In that case, I live in Canary Island in Spain, so two of the islands are Tenerife and Gran Canaria. Which, by the way, I recommend, of course, you can visit. We will see all the beauty. But what we have done here is to make an agent which will do a web scrapping of webtenerife.com. And this agent will create some category description using OpenAI and then insert in Azure AI Search index. Okay. Then with that category descriptions, we can answer question of the users using the knowledge source in Copilot Studio. Okay. And another features that we will see is how to get the weather and how to find nearby restaurant. In this case, we are using a custom connector that connects to the Google Places and Google Geocoding API in order to convert an address to a coordinates, and then to find nearby restaurants in around that coordinates in a specified radius. Okay, so that's all the features of our demo. And in the end, of course, I will show you some magic code that will allow us to interact with the voice to this Copilot. Okay, so let's start with the first agent. The first agent will do using Azure AI Search and Azure OpenAI, we'll do a web scrapping of Web Tenerife and then insert that content in the Azure AI Search. So I will show you that code, which is here. I will give you later on the GitHub repository, just in case you want to download this. But of course, I can show you before this. I can show you the web. Okay, so webtenerife.com. This is the website. Okay, here you can find all the information. I will put this in English so you can understand better. Okay, and then of course here you can find all the information about Tenerife. Okay, about things to do in Tenerife. What we have done, you see these categories, okay, and we have here a small description. Okay, what our agent is doing here is to web scrap this URL and then take this title and this small description and then send this description to OpenAI. If you remember the schema, we have a Python script that do a web scraping of Web Tenerife and then enhance the descriptions and generate embedding using OpenAI. So we send this description to OpenAI, this title, and we request to enhance, to add more content. We enable, of course, the web search, so the agent in Azure OpenAI can go and find information of this and enhance the description. After that, so it's a question here is web scraping of a website such as the one in the demo, legal and conform with EU scan regulation or intellectual properties? Yeah, that's a good question. And in this case, to do this, we have requested permission to webtenerife.com. This case is legal because this is a touristic web of Tenerife, and they, of course, are very happy that every platform can publish their content or make like a marketing thing, free marketing, because this is free marketing. But of course, you have to be aware of this case. So it's not, I think, not every website is legal to do a web scraping. Okay, so be aware of that. There is another form, another ways to get the information, but we want to show here like one way that we can use here in Spain. In some webs it is legal, no? So basically we have contacted the webs of webtenerife.com, which is tourism of Tenerife, and then they of course allow us to do that. Okay, but good question there. So coming out to the schema, so we do a web scraping, we enhance the description, generate the embeddings. Okay, so let's go and see here one example. So we have this is the content that we have scraped automatically from the website. Okay, and then after we send to OpenAI and generate embeddings, it gets this content. Okay, so here is the embedding, which we later on use to answer the user queries in a semantic way. Here is the this is in Spanish, but don't worry, because Copilot Studio will translate automatically to English when we ask in English. And yeah, so this is the detailed description, the enhanced description that we have generated using OpenAI, and then we generate the embedding. So in the last part of the schema, we save the documents to a blob storage. in Azure, and then we pull that documents to Azure AI Search and generate an index, okay? So that code, if we go here to scraper, we first create the categories, which is a function here. So we go and connect to this URL, and then we start here in the scraping thing. I won't go into detail of this, but of course, I am happy to answer any question you have here or later on through LinkedIn. And this code will be in, I will show you now the repository just in case you want download and just play around. So we get here the descriptions, all the JSON that just show you 1 moment ago, and then we go to send to OpenAI, and we are going to receive a detailed description, an enriched description, okay? And then we return back to the main process. So we have already the enriched description. We will generate now the embeddings. So we go to here and then send all the embedding things. So the request to OpenAI, and then generate the embeddings for the title and for the description, for the enriched description. And then we get the final JSON that just show you here. Was this, okay? This is the final description that we will send to the blob storage. So now we go here and save to table storage. Okay, so we find this function here, somewhere here, save to table storage. And so we create an Azure storage account, and then we create a table storage inside, and then we keep that information there. Of course, we can just jump over this point and save directly to Azure AI Search, but we decided to do like this. So we just save it here. You have like a middle storage, so you can check if everything is correct, and then you finally send it to you create an indexer in Azure AI Search, and then you call that indexer here, and just that indexer will pull the information from Azure table storage, and then fill up the index in order to use later on in Copilot Studio. Okay, so that's a brief explanation. I showed you where is the code here, so you can go this repo and pick up the code. This is my colleague Mario Arias, who have the repo. We have done this session together in another event. So part of the session, this part of the web scraping agent. So it's in his GitHub repo. So you can pick up from there, and just you have here the instruction on how to install and everything you need to run it. Okay. All right. So moving up, let's go. So this Azure AI Search, the next thing we do is to connect here. This is the Copilot, the hotel reservation, and we connect this to as a knowledge source. Okay, so we go here and we can see that this information about activities in Tenerife is just connected here to we have like a lot of documents. Is vectorized, and this is the vector index size, and it's called Actividades Tenerife. Okay, so when we query information about Tenerife, you will see this name as the reference here. So if I ask here, what activities can I do in Tenerife? it will send a request to Azure AI Search now, and then just answer with some information from the index Actividades Tenerife, as you can see here. Okay, so it has take 3 results, and it has just built this information for us. If you click on the link, okay, it will point you directly to the website that just we see before. Let's click on this button link. I think, see if it is work. Okay, it's loading Web Tenerife. I don't know. It is maybe having some problem in the URL here. But yeah, so it is pointing to Web Tenerife. Okay, now it work. So it's taking golf in Tenerife. Okay, it's taking also content from here. It's taking also content from, I don't know, this another web, actividades culturales, and so on. So you see that the original content is in Spanish, but that's not a problem because Copilot Studio will translate on the fly. Okay, so that's a good part. Of course, we can index also from the just the English version, just going to the English version here. But of course, it is not a problem because we have like a translation in the fly in Copilot Studio. Okay, so that's the main part. I wanted to ask to show you before in the ask any question. Okay, yeah. So you can ask any question here in the chat, just in case. Anyway, I show you there the code. Maybe you explore and you have question later on. I am happy to answer you via LinkedIn or whatever you contact form you want to reach me. Okay. So let's go ahead and go to show you the hotel reservation copilot. Okay, let's start to working here in the testing chat, and later on I will show you just a spoiler of the speech to text and text to speech for AI agent. Okay, so that we'll see later on the last part of the demo. So let's go ahead here. So the first thing we will do is to get let's do a hotel reservation. So let's start by asking, let's reset that. Let's start by asking, I will enable the map. And then start asking about, I want to go holidays. This way, so we have implemented here some features. So the first thing that here is the get zones, which was the first action here. And look at the description. So get the areas, zones, countries available in the system where the user can query hotel availability. I never told here something about holidays, but of course the generative AI orchestrator is so intelligent that he knows that when you go holidays, you need a hotel, usually, an apartment, maybe a home. But of course, I don't have here any home or apartments action, so it takes the one he thinks is better, so the hotel ones. Then we have these destinations, of course. Go to Tenerife. And now I take the destination, and then the next thing he do, if we remember the schema, is to search for hotel availability. Okay, you see that here is the description, help the user to find a hotel in the selected zone. Okay, it takes Tenerife from this phrase. You remember the entity thing I explained before? So that's an entity, a zone where which is an entity, and the Copilot agent is so clever to extract that and send it to as a parameter to the topic. Okay, So we just query using Power Automate. We query the Dataverse. I will show you so quickly the zones table. This is a model-driven app on the same environment. You see Premium US here, Premium US. This is the zones, and this is the hotel. So you are seeing that all the information is not just put there like mocked up there, is taken dynamically from the database. We will see here also the adaptive cards. Okay, the information is coming from the flow in a JSON format, but of course we can use adaptive card. We can map that JSON properties to adaptive cards fields. And I want to show you so quickly here the designer. This is you can use this designer. I put the link in the chat to create adaptive cards designs, okay? And then you can connect that to your Copilot or agent responses, okay? Also, you can use it to send to the team, to a Teams chat. There is a lot of use of adaptive cards, but here is a good use of them. So let's choose the Hotel Alabama. And then, of course, they ask me to search for availability. Let's go ahead. And then this is another adaptive card. You can see similar to this form that you can see here. So instead of asking the user to put the date in the chat, we can show him this beautiful form. So he can just choose here the dates, the check-in, the checkout, the number of packs, and then search for hotel offers. This will make another request to the Dataverse and check for the hotel prices that you can see here. Okay, and then if we remember from the diagram, we see the find hotel offers. Okay, so get hotel prices. Yeah, so let's go on all inclusive. We put the ring and just forget about making food. We have all drinks included. We can enjoy our holidays here in Canary Island. And then we have a summary here. You have selected hotel offer for Alabama for 2 packages from the 23 until the 26th of June, with all inclusive for only $150. By the way, it's impossible to get this price. It's so cheaper. Okay, and then we want to complete this reservation. So the last adaptive card is a form. We autofill the user data here from the logged in user. We only ask for the phone number, and then we can confirm the booking. This goes to make the last step of confirm a reservation and return back a localizer. You see HT 1018. All right. So if we go to the database, okay, I will answer your question now. Let me finish this. I filter by the localizer. I have the reservation. And as you can see, we have the 23 until the 26 with all the information, and we can access also to the hotel information. So that's a full cycle of hotel reservation, just done with topics, knowledge sources, and so on. So we have a question, the time how you define or provision the Dataverse. What exactly is this component? Okay. So the PMS, I don't want to confuse you. So this is like a hotel term. Okay. The PMS means property management system. This is a hotel management system that allow the hotel to introduce all the data. So all the rooms, all the capacities, all the prices, all the offers, everything that a hotel needs to sell its rooms in the internet. All right. So that's the first question. So Dataverse, it's I have used Dataverse in order to create a small hotel PMS. And what I mean by small is it has only 4 tables. We have the zones. So imagine I have a chain of hotels, maybe, I don't know, Meliá, okay, which is it has different hotels in the world. So my chain of hotels have hotels in Gran Canaria, in Vancouver, in La Palma, in Tenerife, okay? So inside each of the destinations, I link a hotel, okay? The hotel is linked to a zone, all right? And then inside of each hotel, I link rate. The rate is a price for a meal, okay? A meal can be room only, you know, so all the different meals. And then with all these 3 tables, I can compose a reservation. So that rate is valid from this date until this date. And then when I request a price from the 23rd of June until the 26th of June, it will take, and then I put also all inclusive, it will take this rate, all right, 150. So that's the first part. Okay, so I choose a zone, one of these zones, then inside the zone I choose a hotel, and inside the hotel I choose a price. With all that, I create a reservation where you can see here my reservation and has all the data. So yeah, so that's a very, very small PMS. I have worked with bigger booking engines, and it has a lot of features like offers, different offers that vary from the long, how long your stay is. So okay, so we won't go into detail there, but you can find that a hotel PMS, like you can, with this schema, you can just swap the Dataverse PMS with a real PMS and connect to their API and get the zones and get the hotel for a zone and get the price. So you catch the idea that this is a small demo, but you can just swap the Dataverse hotel PMS with a real one, and you can get this agent working with a real PMS. Okay, so I hope I have answered your question. Let's go here and check now. Okay, we have the hotel confirmed. Let's go and what activities can I do nearby? So with the word nearby, if it works well, they should find activities near to the hotel. And you remember, what is the hotel? Is the Hotel Alabama. So there is so intelligent that goes to the index that we filled with the first agent, and then find, you see, Web Tenerife, and find information about the hotel and the rounding, the things that you can do nearby the hotel. Okay, beach activities, gastronomy, relaxation, you know. So it is taking the context of the conversation and just finding there some some activities to do. Okay, and what is the weather nearby? And then in this case, they should also take Hotel Alabama and then find the weather using the MSN Weather API. Also, again, taking the context of the conversation. All right, and okay, that's very simple integration. You can see the tools here. We have get zones. We provide description for the different parts, no inputs. We provide, let's check another one. Okay, let's go to hotel by zone. We provide, again, simple description, not so much extended. We provide inputs, okay, again, simple description for every input, okay. And yeah, so then we have some topics here in the custom topics. For example, in the find hotel offers, we have different in order to check to put the adaptive cars in, you can just put the schema here of the adaptive cars. This is a bit more complex because you have to bind or map the JSON response with the adaptive cars components. But of course, I come back to here. If you choose here this design, you have here all the adaptive car code, and you have to put here your JSON, and then you are mapping here the different JSON properties to the adaptive car. Okay, so it's sufficient for another talk that we can do, but of course is how I do it, this type of mapping. Okay, all right, so let's try to show you now the last feature of nearby restaurants. So can you find nearby restaurants to Tenerife in 10 kilometers radius? And this time it will go and do a process which is called dynamic chaining. So in order to find restaurants nearby to Tenerife or in Tenerife, it needs to go to the search nearby restaurants. But what's the problem? That this needs as input a longitude and latitude coordinates. So I haven't provided this here, but I provide an entity, a zone. So it goes first to this action and get the coordinates of the center of Tenerife. And then with that, it will call the second action, the second tool in this case, and go and show and pass this as input. And also it translates the 10 kilometers to meters. Okay, so that's another cool thing, is doing this out of the box. Of course, in the flow, I am providing a description, and in that description, I am telling that the radius parameter, input parameter, is in meters. Okay, so that's a very important thing when you connect different tools to the same agent, that you can provide useful descriptions to the tool, to the tool as a description, and to the input and output parameters. Let's go back here because it's not loading. If we go to search neighbor restaurants, okay, we have here the description, the general description, and then the input. We have longitude, latitude, and radius in meters. That's a key here. Okay, if we go to Parador Las Cañadas del Teide, we can go to the Google Maps link. We can see this is real. Okay, we are connecting to the real Google Places API, and it's taking results directly from there. Okay, so that's all from this agent. Let's go to the last part. We have 10 minutes in the session, so I want to show you how to add voice capability to this demo. So first of all, let's go to the code. It's very simple. It's not this one. Sorry, it's this one. Okay. This is the HTML. I will show you also in the screen, which is here. I have put some beautiful background on Vancouver and also the logo here. Yeah, 5 minutes. All right. So let's go here. I have this mic button here. When I click, it opens my computer mic. I can speak, and then I will reload this just in case. Allowed, of course, to use the mic. And let's go ahead. Hello. Okay, you see, it's putting the hello there. All right, and now it's playing, but because I have the headphones, you can't hear it. But let me one moment to change these to the speakers. I want to go holidays. All right, yes, just a moment. I have to log in. Now you will hear it.
Based on which of these zones, the available zones for your holiday are La Palma, Vancouver, Tenerife, Gran Canaria.
All right, so you can see that we are converting our voice to message, to text, and going into the chat. And then we are converting back the message, the response from the chat to audio and play on the computer speaker, okay? So I will show you how I do that. So this is the simple HTML, nothing more like this. And then you can check this web chat div where we are using here. This is all the features. We are using this web chat as a input here, and we are loading. Of course, the first thing we need to load is this library of bot framework web chat. Okay, so after that we go and load this render web chat. Okay, we initialize the web chat and we subscribe to every message that is coming in the chat. Okay, the user message and the system message. Okay, so after that we set up the recorder. That's the moment where you have to allow in the browser to allow the mic and the speakers. Okay, and then we add event listeners for the click to start recording and stop recording. That's the event listener for this mic button. Okay, and then the other part is to send audio to OpenAI and then the convert text to speech. Okay, so the first part is when I speak on the mic, I capture the audio in an MP3 file. I send it to OpenAI and using the whisper model, and then it respond me back with a text. Then I send the message to the bot. I have the text and send the message to the bot, and then it right here. So that start the conversation, normal conversation with the Copilot Studio agent, and then when I receive the system message back, I have to take this text and send it and convert to a speech. So I send again to Azure AI Foundry, and using the model for text to speech, it returns me back an MP3 file, which I play in the speakers of the computer. Okay, that's the thing. I won't go into much detail. I will upload this code also to my repo, and this is the schema. Of course, just go into the taking up the audio, sending to whisper, send to the bot, and then the response back and play it to the speakers. Okay, so that's all. I just taking the last words in order. This agent has a lot of tools in one agent. What I am doing now is converting this to a small agents that has single responsibilities and have one coordinator agent to make the different actions. So stay tuned, because in the next month, so I think after the summer, I will show you this demo in some of the events, but converting to a multi-agent system. Okay. And thanks again for the sponsors to be possible to be here to make this great event. Thank you, Ridi, for being there and coordinating. And yeah, that's again my contact details. I want to be contact with you, so just add me on LinkedIn. How do you secure the API used to call the OpenAI text function? Okay. Yeah. So you can the API key. It's in this demo is put there in the code. It's not the best way. I recommend you to use Azure Key Vault for this. Okay. So the recommended option is to use Azure Key Vault. Keep the secret there, and just instantiate the Azure Key Vault in your JavaScript SDK. All right, that's the recommended option. All right. Any more questions? If you like, if you find a new question later on, I will be on LinkedIn. You can add me and just we can connect there.